Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Humans in 5.
This week, we're going interplanetary to talk about NASA's Mars exploration program. Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun and the second smallest planet in the solar system. It's about 239 million kilometers away from the Earth and has a reddish tinge when you look up at it in the night sky.
You might have heard a bit more about Mars in pop culture as the home of Martians. In 1877, Italian astronomer Giovanni Virginio Schiaparelli used a telescope to view Mars and reported seeing canali, or channels, supposedly long straight lines on the surface of Mars, to which he gave the names of famous rivers on Earth.
Inspired by Schiaparelli's reports, the American businessman Percival Lowell had an observatory built in the 1890s and then went on to publish a number of books about the planet Mars, which included suggestions that there were life forms living on the planet. People reading his books took this idea and ran with it.
NASA's Mariner 4 was the first spacecraft to visit Mars in 1965, with the Soviet Mars 3 landing on the planet in 1971. In 1997, NASA spacecraft Mars Pathfinder landed on the planet and released a rover called Sojourner onto the surface of the planet. Rovers are essentially little labs on wheels, providing the opportunity to collect data from the planet's surface remotely. Sojourner started a trend, with more rovers being dropped onto Mars to travel around the planet's surface, collecting data on climate, water levels, and some incredible images.
More recently, the Mars 2020 mission included the Perseverance rover and the Mars helicopter known as Ingenuity. Ingenuity functions like a regular helicopter, maintaining flight with rotor blades. Attached to the rover, it can collect information from the space above the planet's surface. After a 6-month journey, Perseverance landed on Mars on February 18th this year.
So, what have all these amazing spacecraft taught us about life on Mars? The atmosphere of Mars is mostly carbon dioxide with some water vapor. That means there's not a lot of oxygen, which is a problem for us humans. To be able to breathe on Mars, we'd need a suit with an oxygen tank, or to be in a house with oxygen being pumped into it. When it comes to climate and terrain, Mars is arid, rocky, and home to the largest volcano in the solar system.
It's also kind of chilly, with an average temperature of minus 62 degrees Celsius. The orbit of Mars means that the water doesn't stay in a liquid state for a very long time or in very large amounts on the planet's surface. So it looks like Mars is a no-swimming zone.
The gravity on Mars is a third of Earth's gravity. Tests completed with astronauts walking on force plates show that the ideal walking speed on Mars would look little more than half the walking speed on Earth. So we can assume that it would take a little longer to run errands on Mars.
But what about life forms? Have these little rovers found any evidence of little green men living on that big red planet?
So far, nothing has come in to suggest that there are life forms currently living on Mars. The fact is that there's very little space for water to accumulate as a liquid for a long time, and that makes it hard for biological life to exist in Martian conditions. Research on the geology of Mars suggests that if water stuck around in the past, it was more than likely too salty and acidic to support life forms. In 2018, researchers found a subglacial lake on Mars, so there may be other chances to look out for some Martian critters on the horizon.
We hope this episode hasn't got you feeling as lost as Major Tom, but excited about what life could look like as a Martian. So we'll see you next time on Humans in 5.
And don't forget to subscribe!